And we're talking about something to do with Australia. Maybe you can give everybody a hint.
Piss off, okay?
That's a very good hint.
If you guys are old ADV podcast hands, as we call them, you will know who this is. And this man that we're about to talk about, his name is David Gulasi, otherwise known as David Hohut. And if you look at his mug, you might recognize him. He is someone with millions of followers on the Chinese internet.
Yes.
He's from Australia.
Yeah.
He originally was living in Hohut, and then he moved somewhere else. But he became famous for being very, very pro-China and very critical of foreigners living in China. So we made a kind of meme out of him with the piss off okay thing.
Well, that's his thing. He made his own meme. We're not in the habit of like trying to attack people's character, by the way. This is very pertinent. And the reason we're actually featuring him here is he made a video when he went back to Australia for the Christmas break. He made a video which rocketed him to fame again. He got over like
Chinese TikTok.
Yeah, like 500,000
in a day.
Followers in a day. And well, we're just going to play the video for you. And the best part is that a Chinese Australian guy actually made a comeback to him. So
it's delicious.
It's always good. So we're going to play it. We're going to leave you with him for a minute. Let's do it.
特别想跟你们说一个事情，我待在中国比较长时间。
we should probably translate.
Yeah, okay. So he says, I really needed to tell you guys something
about an issue
in Australia.
我来澳大利亚的时候，我有一个东西叫 reverse culture shock. I'm very used to the Chinese lifestyle about everything, and I came to Australia. I feel like it's very 不方便, you know, like. I'll give you some examples. Like, 如果你在中国, if you don't drive a car, if you don't do a lot of things, you just...
I just have to say something about the way he's talking. He
What would you like to say?
Is dumbing himself down. It's insulting because what he's doing is he's trying to make himself sound slower and dumber for like stupid people. I mean, it's like...
It's also a Chinese accent on his English.
Yeah, but the way he's talking, and I see this in Africa as well, is when like you get someone like, let's say a white person talking to like a black dude, you'll get the same. They'll put on like an accent and talk slower. And I find it kind of insulting.
It is. This guy, he's literally putting on a fake Chinese accent to sound more palatable.
Okay, guys, like, because it's just going to be... anyway, just wanted to point that out. That's what he's doing.
To sum up the beginning, though, he's talking about how he has reverse culture shock after coming back from China. He's just visiting Australia.
Yeah.
Ride a bike. You can get anywhere. There's subways, everything. 但是在这儿啥都没有，我靠。
I love the way he's throwing in colloquialism. 啥都没有，我靠.
That's like a Dongbei accent.
And 啥都 means 什么都没有. He's just trying to be all like streetwise. But the thing is, he's saying, like, in China, you get public transport. You can go anywhere on a bicycle or bus or whatever, but there's, like, nothing in Australia. You can't do anything, which, it's not really true. But I'll give China the fact that they've got a good public transport system 100%. So
that's not the most important part.
Again, we shouldn't really be picking apart his whole video because it's what he says at the end that's so important.
We want you guys to see the whole thing.
如果你没有车，你要死了。
He says if you don't have a car in Australia, you die.
You're
die. Dead.
没有滴滴 you can't go anywhere. 这儿的 Uber 我妈呀，1公里差不多20澳币。
Oh, what a Maya. He's trying to be all like, it's like, oh my God, like over here, the Uber's just like 20 Australian dollars
per kilometer.
Like, for a
Which I don't know if that's true.
I doubt it.
It seems a bit much.
That's a bit
whatever.
100多人民币，我靠。
So I'll teach you guys some Chinese swearing. 我操 is the F word.
Yeah.
And I won't say the F word because I don't get demonetized. But cow is like a teenager version of that. It's like kind of saying crap instead of shit.
Yeah.
So you guys learn.
It's very, very normal colloquialism.
It means F me.
Yeah.
去银行做一个东西，在澳大利亚，我靠 you need like...
Again, what car? And then he switches to English because, his Chinese isn't good enough.
He has these colloquialisms that he uses to sound fluent, and then he code switches to English.
Yeah, it's like, so go to a bank, you want to do anything at a bank, screw me, it's difficult, you can't do anything.
More than 1 hour. 在中国 I go to some 中国银行 or ICBC or something. It's like 噔噔噔嘣再见. It's so quick.
Wait. This is something I take offense to.
Me too.
When you go to the bank in America, what's the most amount of time you've had to wait?
there might be one person in front of me in a queue.
Okay.
You know, when you go to the actual teller. And if you're going to go in for like something important, you make an appointment, and when you get there, you do it.
Sure. Let's say 10 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Now, let me ask you this. What's the least amount of time you've had to spend in a Chinese bank?
That's ridiculous. Probably half an hour. 20 minutes is the least.
I think that's lucky.
You know, the thing is, again, it's not the fault of China. It's the large population.
Sure,
Unless this guy lives in a one-horse town in China. When you get into the bank, you have to take a number. Okay, there's a machine. And you walk up, and it's in Chinese. Some of them have an English option, and then you choose, like, is it account services or deposit, whatever. You choose your thing, it prints out a little ticket for you, and you have to go and wait on a bench with like literally hundreds of people, right? And it's like 4 tellers, and they call your number.
Do you know what I've seen old Chinese IEs, like aunties, do? They'll go in there on like a really, really busy, I almost code switch like him. I was like, to be busy. Yeah. You go there on like a really busy day, and people need to get in and out, but they're waiting for like 3 or 4 hours sometimes. They'll get the numbers and just print them out there when the security guard's not looking, and they'll actually sell them for like 10 kwai.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
it's so funny.
It's totally true.
Anyway, it's so full of shit.
You know, the problem is, like I said, I don't want to do a character assassination. You can see exactly what this guy's doing.
And for sure.
This is what makes him popular, is he basically says how amazing China is compared to the West. He's trying to say, oh, look how crappy the West is.
Right.
China's way better. And then he gets these like gushing support from the nationalists.
But the issue comes later.
Yeah.
I really miss China, you know. And 还有一些我觉得 like 美团晚上我跟我媳妇儿 we hungry we just 点美团 or 饿了么 or something 这儿
Okay, well, let's see what his comparison is.
Okay.
啥都没有 you have to go to the supermarket or you will just
好的
Okay, so he said in China, wow, it's so simple. In the middle of the night, you're hungry. You just use ulama or whatever. Because it's true. In China, you can order food any time of the day or night, and the delivery cost is pretty much zero.
Right.
So if you order something that's over like $5, you know, value, they'll send a guy on a bicycle for free to deliver it to you. So it's like, but here in the West, there's nothing. In Australia, he literally said there's nothing. You have to go to the supermarket.
So... has he heard of Uber Eats
or DoorDash
or any of those? Grubhub?
He's probably out of touch because he's been out of Australia for so long.
Yeah, he probably doesn't have any of that crap on his phone.
Because he's only got the Chinese apps on his phone.
Right.
You know what's really funny though is a lot of those Chinese apps actually work in places like Australia. They do. They've got their own like localized delivery stuff through those apps and things. They do actually work, especially since Australia belongs to China. Anyway, so. Let's get to the meat of this. We're going to shut up and we're going to let this guy. By the way, there is a link to this guy's video if you want to watch the whole thing, because we cut this out.
Yeah.
He actually did a long tirade in Chinese where he addressed everything that David Gulasi said. And he put subtitles, so don't worry. He's got English subtitles. Yeah. It's linked in the description. I implore all of you guys to go and take a look.
He's awesome.
Yeah, go give him a subscribe. He deserves it. He's a Chinese Australian, and let's hear what he has to say in English.
Before we get into that real quick, just in case, because I don't think that part was in. We had to cut this out of his video because this is on Chinese TikTok, which we can't use in America.
Yeah.
So basically, at the end, David Gulasi says, "I don't care about freedom."
Yes, that's right. He didn't. Why wasn't that in here?
I don't know. It just wasn't cut into that guy's video there. But anyway, David Gulasi, you go watch the whole video. You'll figure it out. But he basically says, I don't care about freedom.
He says,
freedom is shit.
He says, what is freedom?
Yeah, freedom is shit.
I can't do anything here, but in China, I can do anything. Like, who needs freedom? I just want to be comfortable.
Right, and he said, I just want convenience. Freedom is bullshit.
Yeah, who needs freedom? That's actually what he said. That's the most important part. I don't know why it's been cut out of this. But
it doesn't matter. This guy fully addresses it in English. Yeah. We're gonna ride this out.
Yeah. We're not gonna ride him. We're gonna ride this out. That's you said it, not me. Anyway.
天色也不晚了，我要回去了。那么在这里呢，我要跟大卫老师呢，用他的母语聊两句啊。
Don't worry, English is coming.
Hi David, how are you, mate? How's your holiday? Now, what's your video? I know you're a father. I'm a father. And I respect your preference of lifestyle, okay? Totally respect it. And I can understand why you think the Chinese one is better for you, obviously. Because of the, being comfortable, relaxation, so you don't care about freedom. You know what? I know someone who also have the same preference, and we call them pigs. Okay?
Yeah, I got to jump in there.
Okay, good.
It's true, because it's unfortunate that part was cut out. But the way he said it was, he literally said, like, what the hell is freedom? Who cares about freedom? This freedom stuff's bullshit. I just want convenience. Okay? And that is the most selfish thing you could ever say.
Yeah.
Right? Because he literally does not care about anyone having any freedom of speech or whatever, as long as he can get his food in the middle of the night delivered for like free.
Right.
That's all he cares about. Anyway, that's why he's been compared to a pig.
Right.
Pretty much.
You little piece of You're telling Chinese people who don't have freedom that freedom is shit. It's like telling people on the funeral that life is meaningless, life is shit. And deaths, we should celebrate the deaths of the people. Okay? Do you know how ridiculous that is? Little piece of And your surname, I guess your surname is Gulasi, right? Gulasi, Mr. Gulasi. So I guess you or your father or your grandfather were from Turkey, probably? So you're lucky to be born in Australia, okay? But there are a lot of other people who share the same ethnic origin with you, which are the Uyghurs. Millions of them are locked by Chinese government in those so-called schools for re-education. Do you know that? I believe you know that.
Yeah, we've got to come back in on this again.
Sure.
It is true. David is Turkish. Mm-hmm. Like he is. He's from his, parents are from Turkey or wherever. It's like ancestry. So this is a very good point that he's making here.
Turkic people, Uyghurs.
Yes. The same people that are being locked up in, the sort of re-education camps. You can call them what you want, but they're just basically re-education camps, right? Same people that his ancestors come from. And he's talking about, who gives a crap about freedom? And I've got to weigh in on this, right? Mm-hmm. Nobody actually understands what freedom is until it's taken away.
100%.
And this is something that I can attest to myself, something that's happened to me before. In South Africa, there was this one time where a whole lot of shit happened and I got taken and put in a holding cell for like a night. It's a good story, I'm going to tell you. But the thing is, it was on a Friday. And the way the court system works there is you get thrown in on Friday, you stay there until Monday, and then you get to go to the court and they decide whether you did something wrong. They obviously released me straight away because I hadn't done anything wrong. It was a big misunderstanding. But the fact of the matter is I had to stay an entire weekend in a holding cell with like a bunch of serious criminals, okay, like rapists and murderers and stuff. And that's South Africa. And it opened my eyes. You think you're free. You think you don't even think about it until you actually are not free. When you're stuck somewhere and you cannot break out of it, no matter what you do, then you understand what freedom is.
That's why I have such an issue, like a moral issue with a lot of Western YouTubers that say the whole Uyghur situation is bullshit and it's a domestic issue and nobody should weigh in on it. Because you're not affected. Yeah. You and your families are not being put in re-education camps.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
And it just happens with every single person. Happens with Chinese people all the time. They think everything's fine until something happens to them and, they get detained or someone they know gets detained. Then it hits home and you're like, hang on a second. Freedom is important.
Right.
But until then, life's good. And this is actually something that really resonates with the feeling of Chinese people in general. What he's saying, what David Gulasi was saying, what's freedom? Who gives a shit about freedom? Freedom is bullshit. I can do what I want. I can have a comfortable life.
It's playing into this whole very soft power CCP narrative right now is we're going to provide for you. Everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You may not be wealthy, but you're going to be totally fine. You don't have to worry about anything. The government's going to take care of you. And people have really gotten used to that idea.
Yeah, and so what he's saying, obviously it's rubbed off on him living there, that attitude.
I think it's an echo chamber.
Yeah, and of course he knows that he's going to get support by echoing that stuff.
I really want people to watch the entire thing in your own free time after this because he goes in Chinese and rips it apart as to why all of these things are. Yeah.
It's important.
But we got to hear his message.
We'll hear his sign out here. Let's go for it.
But you say nothing. And, I guess, you have a school in China, right? I guess you lock your students up to teach them, to give them education, do you? Okay. That's not bad. You little piece of I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Oh, you kiss your mom with that mouth? No, I'm Chinese, remember? We don't kiss our mom or our mother-in-law, okay? So please don't do that. At least not behind your wife, okay? Don't do that. And you kiss your wife, Sammy? You kiss Ariel? You kiss your mother with that CCP ass-kissing hole on your face? Really? We all have children. We all have children, okay? Don't let them be embarrassed by yourself. And stop using your kids if you really want them to have a happy childhood in Australia, okay? Little piece of我靠. Happy New Year. Have a very happy kissing New Year. Thank you. Welcome home.
Oh my god, legend.
Okay, I really appreciate what this guy has to say, especially since he is a Chinese Australian.
Him because I was so inspired. I watched some of his other stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, if people watch us and when we talk about these issues, it's very easy for people to say, look at these stupid white boys, they don't know what the hell they're talking about, they're not Chinese. You know, and it's very easy to say that and just dismiss what we have to say. But when a Chinese person is saying it, someone who's obviously moved his entire family to Australia for a reason, then you have to take it seriously.
Yes.
Okay? You have to.
He knows both sides.
Straight from the horse's mouth. So I do suggest everyone to go follow the link and go give the guy a subscribe and, you know, basically, take a look. The guy's awesome.
He's seriously cool. And there's some other good content. He makes some good commentary as well.
He was actually on the same beach. He went to the same beach.
Oh yeah, that's the best part.
Welcome to the Royal Rumble.
Who do you want to see get their ass whooped the most?
I must say I'm very biased against the Shills. I hope they all get a beat down.
We have no idea what's going to happen in this match.
Cannot wait.
Are you ready to rumble?
Sarai AI.
Take a look at that. She's showing off. Is Tractor gonna throw Chinese Ox out? It's Cool Gamer Nathan.
My
Subway
goodness.
Wonder Man. Subway Wonder Man.
Oh, is he out? Flying through the air like a missile and slammed into the mat.
And the engineer,
Neo Dentec!
Oh, Chinese Ox out of the ring.
Oh, and it's Clapman. This roster.
Oh, Sida's out. Wait, I'm kicking your ass now? What's going on? Look, everybody wants Raging Roger out of there.
Raging Roger is out!
Oh, well.
Oh, wow.
He's going for strike, brother.
Wow.
Oh, that was close. I cannot believe it.
Oh, my goodness.
That is, that's insane.